Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of Coaster Rambles. We're here in the flesh, if you're watching on YouTube that is. If you're listening, online on any podcast app, you won't be able to see us. But if you head onto YouTube, even after you've watched this, you can have a look at our impressive camera setup. We've got a main one in the middle, which we're looking at now. Zoe's got her own one. And I've got my own one. So it took us, some effort to get this.
Longer than the actual episode, probably.
Yeah. But no, it's to celebrate the fact that Coaster Rambles is now a year old.
1 year old.
We've been making a podcast. Zoe's been making a podcast for a year. A whole year.
Literally doesn't feel like it though.
How's that been? Can you remember when you started doing the first one?
Yeah, because we were in my old uni house.
Yeah.
All that time ago. But yeah, I mean, it's not really changed much. It still feels like it's like the second one or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we've been doing it for that long.
No. And I'd like to make a confession that I've probably listened to... I've actually only listened to one full episode, and that was the very first one, to make sure that you were editing it right, remember? I haven't listened to a single...
That's bad.
But why would I? I lived it.
You lived it, yeah, but you also forgot it immediately after.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
But you get to listen to them.
I do, yeah, as I edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, been a year.
You fed up with your own voice yet?
No.
Have you got past that stage where you don't really care anymore about your own voice?
It still annoys me.
Yeah?
But I don't really mind it.
No.
Because yours is on there as well.
Yeah, thank you. Very cool.
So, yeah, it's not too bad.
I got past, worried about my own voice ages ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but everybody says your voice is really nice, so why would it even be an issue for you?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know why people like it.
It is, though, because it's really, deep.
It's not that deep.
Yeah, but it's a good voice. Mine's like...
It's alright.
Mine's really annoying. It is.
If you say so. I'm no Silverette, but that's okay.
Oh.
Close enough.
No one is,
Close
mate.
enough.
No one is.
This is true. Anyway, we're trying to make this as kind of go with the flow as possible. This is, especially on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, then it's minimal editing.
It's raw.
It's pretty much raw. If we did our own show,
on TV.
Imagine us on stage or on TV. This is what it'd be like,
Coming to you live.
All the mess ups, you see them. You see me not being able to say words. So it really is quality stuff.
We're trying not to gap, which is what we do all the time on the real one.
Yeah.
We'll just have a gap.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to now.
No.
It's quite intense.
It is.
It's going well.
But yeah, we're doing all right. So go on, explain to us in today's episode what we will be doing.
We are answering random questions from you guys. Normally it's targeted on one thing, whatever we're talking about. But I'm just going to take a sip of water there. That would be nice for the listeners on iTunes. Yeah, normally it's focused, but this time it was anything you like, just because, we didn't want to do a specific topic because it's just the anniversary episode.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of random questions.
We do. Actually, before we get into those, we've been doing it for a year. Mm-hmm. Do you think much has changed in terms of...
The actual content?
Yeah, content and or quality of the podcast as a whole. I
think we've got better at knowing kind of what to say, if that makes sense. I feel like we... Also, the format of the whole thing of the questions and everything.
Yeah, it's a bit more regimented now compared to what it used to be. But in the first episodes, you're always trying to find your own kind of style.
Yeah.
So now that we're, a year in, we have a style, then...
I don't think we changed that much, though, from the start. We kind of figured out our style before we started.
Well, we in terms of making... podcast isn't too far away from making videos, so we kind of already had a gist of what was going on. But no, I do think that... even I haven't even listened to it, but I do think that...
tell us, guys.
Over the period of a year that we've gotten better. I remember recording the first one, and it seemed a bit
We didn't know what we were doing.
No, exactly. So hopefully... If you guys can tell us if this is true, but hopefully, we've improved over a year.
I mean, you'd hope so.
You would hope so.
Yeah. I think we've done over 30 actual episodes now.
Yeah, well.
This is the 20th, like, main one.
Yeah.
But we've done...
Well, we've done the
guest episodes.
We missed a few because you were rubbish.
Yeah.
So...
Mini episodes.
Yeah, the mini episodes as well.
Quite a few of them now. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So, let's get into some questions then.
Okay. First one's from Sam Saw.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to go to so many theme parks in a year?
It's cool.
It's cool.
I remember being a kid and, with my family, I'd probably end up going to a single theme park per year. Usually it was Alton Towers, so we'd always have like a family trip to Alton Towers every year.
That's the norm though, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was always so excited for this one day. And I remember one year, there was a deal on to come back the next day for really cheap. So we did a whole 2 days at Alton Towers.
Aww.
And I was like thrilled. But then I'd go to theme parks with school. So I think the most I ever went to a theme park before I became an enthusiast was 4 times in a year.
Yeah.
That's was the most.
That's fairly...
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously I was interested, but I just wasn't kind of that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 4 in a year.
That's quite good. We used to go with school to Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
And we used to live near like Legoland, Chesington, what's the other ones? Thorpe Park, all of them are like in the same place. So we could go to like a variety, whereas you kind of had 2.
Yeah.
Like Drayton and Alton.
Mm-hmm. Mainly just those 2.
Yeah.
We went to Blackpool as a family quite a few times actually.
Yeah.
So, but usually it was Towers.
Yeah, but nowadays... every other day, guys. Every other day we're at a theme park.
It is cool. I've been to Alton Towers over the last 3 years too many times. You get to the point where it's like a home from home, like you don't really mind if you don't ride too much.
Oh, literally I couldn't care less anymore because it's all just oh cool, we're back. Like it's just a place to like chill, chill.
Yeah, that's what it's become. It's just a nice place to be.
Yeah,
it's
like going to the park almost.
Yeah, it actually
Isn't it?
Some theme parks are obviously very different. If you haven't been to one,
that's a completely different story.
Full on, like we need to go. Like the first time I went to Liseberg, was very much like bam, 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 bam. Let's try and do as much, but
it was stressful.
Yeah, but now we're gonna go back. For 2 days as well. We'll be able to be a lot more relaxed about it. So I think that's what you get out of going to so many theme parks in a year. Is being able to go to theme parks and not having to worry about getting on rides as much.
Yeah.
Because you get the opportunity to ride lots of things throughout the whole year.
There's less pressure.
There is less pressure. So there you go.
Okay, second question. Sammy says, what roller coaster soundtrack is your favourite? I can guess this.
I don't think you can, because I don't really know. But let's start with you. I don't know how much you even know or care about ride soundtracks.
I know some of them.
Yeah?
I feel like there's a really good one, but I can't remember what it is. It's by Imascore.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that I said was really, like, chill?
Where?
Do you remember? I can't remember.
Was this at a park or just listening on YouTube?
Probably listening on YouTube.
It was really chill.
I don't know. I don't know. All of Imascore's are good, like, in general. I don't think I really have a favourite, but just Imascore's, like, the best company. What's yours?
I don't know. I don't know what your really chill one is.
I thought yours would be the Smiler.
Yeah. I like all of the Imascore soundtracks that basically, okay, this is a bit of a tangent, but people say that Imascore sounds the same, right? And as in the soundtracks sound the same, right? And they do to a degree, but that's not Imascore's fault. It's because the theme parks...
theme park music sounds the same.
No. It's because the theme parks go to Imascore and they're like, I want this adventure type music.
Yeah.
Right. And
it's the same brief.
Exactly. They get the same brief, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you get music that sounds the same. But then every time Alton Towers goes to Imascore, they go, we want this, this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
And Imascore come out with something that's unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Like the Smiler, like Wicker Man, like the Heritage soundtrack. So I do have to admit that I think probably Wicker Man's and Carnan's soundtrack as well.
I forgot about Carnan.
Is very good. again, it's quite different, quite unique. Even the Irish school people themselves say that, you know, like Smilers and Carnans are very unique in terms of that. So for me, it's soundtracks that don't sound like many other soundtracks.
Not your generic,
No,
like...
I don't like that. Taron, people love Taron's soundtrack. No, it's just generic adventure music. I couldn't care less. Like, sorry, yeah, Taron is just a generic kind of adventure ride
Theme,
itself.
yeah.
So, but
Still good, but
it is good.
generic.
But there you go.
Okay, George says, do you think Samurai at Thorpe is boring?
No,
No.
it's got a short cycle, isn't it?
Which one's that?
It's the one near Saw the Ride, the little flat.
The one
ride.
that flips and flips.
Yeah, it's a
I don't like it.
it's a top scan.
I don't like it. It's too jolty.
Yeah.
And it actually hurt my head.
It can be quite forceful.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on the outside of one of the rows, it really can be quite forceful.
So then it's not boring.
No.
It's painful.
I went on a version of that at Fantasy Island, and it had a 3-minute long cycle. And I was on the outside seat. And because flat rides at fun fairs are usually a lot more intense, and the cycles are longer because they don't have to get as many people through. So it was 3 minutes, stupidly intense cycle. I got halfway through and I was like, thank Christ this is over. And then it carried on. I nearly threw up. Honestly, that made me feel so sick. So it is good, just a bit short, Samurai.
Yeah. Okay, Oliver says, which 2 of the big coasters at Alton Towers would you remove and what would you replace them with?
Go on. This is yours first.
Okay. Rita. Because it's boring. The only good bit is the launch. Are you agreeing with me? The only good bit's the launch, and after that it's like, cool. Mm-hmm. Bored now.
Yeah, Rita's
And also it doesn't really fit anymore because they changed the theme.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Smiler, Oblivion, Galactica, Nemesis, 13,
That's hard.
Wicker Man, Spinball. It'd say big.
Oh,
Spinball.
Spinball.
No, Spinball's not big.
Oh, what?
So you got 7 choices.
Well, I want to say Nemesis, but I can't say Nemesis.
Yeah, you can. Get spited for it, but you're saying Nemesis.
Yeah, I know. Personally, Nemesis, just because is my least favourite, I guess. I just don't like inverts. Mm-hmm. Nothing against it. What about you?
Definitely Rita.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of that crap. It's not even crap. The thing is, like, Rita in another park would be good.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would be a flagship ride.
Exactly.
But because it's Alton Towers and because it wasn't really fit the park, as you said, anyway, so scrap Rita, Intamin, multi-launch coaster, boom, give it a dark theme like Dark Forest.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle, you're done. Then you have to think about, like, realistically, what big coasters at Alton Towers would they actually get rid of?
Galactica.
Well, this is it. Like, not Smile, too new. Wicker Man, obviously, no. 13's too new and pulls in a big queue anyway. Oblivion, old.
Possible,
but there's a massive hole. Nothing you can do with it. There's no point getting rid of it, right?
So Galactica.
Nemesis, people
They're
love it.
not getting rid of Nemesis.
The park, the ride that made Alton Towers, basically. They're not going to get rid of that. Galactica.
It's got to be Galactica.
You know, dying ridership, lots of land.
They already revamped it, which shows that they
they already
think it's
revamped
rubbish.
It. Yeah, Galactica is prime real estate, realistically.
Gutted.
Because there's even, back they talked about having the air car park as a space for a new coaster.
Yeah.
You could knock out Galactica and you have a lot of space. And if you use the hillside again, you can have a lot of open area. And there's not many places at Towers where you have that much space. So I do think Galactica is next to go in terms of the big ones after, even though I don't think Rita's going to go anytime soon, but those 2 would be what I would say.
It's the only possibles, really. Okay, Theme Park Thrill says Airtime or Inversions?
What do you think for me?
Inversions.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, because you always say you have to have an inversion to make it amazing. But I don't know if you'd actually choose it over Airtime.
What do you think for you?
Airtime. Definitely.
No, you're right. Kind of not. It's 50-50 for me.
Yeah.
I don't want one or the other.
You have to have both.
I have to have both. It's just true because Airtime, obviously everyone loves Airtime, and the feeling of being thrown out of your seat is fantastic. But then if you don't use inversions, you limit yourself in terms of a layout.
Yeah.
You can pull off so many more interesting moves, and you can utilize space better with inversions. That's why Taran falls down. Some people say, Taran doesn't need any inversions. You're wrong. It could be better with inversions. I'm not. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Because you just think about having to turn a train, from going forwards to going in the opposite direction. Inversion, simple. You go up and over.
Yeah.
How do you do that with no inversion?
Yeah, I know.
You have to do a huge overback turn, which it has, and that takes up a lot of space. So, for me, both. A nice mix of both.
Cheating.
Always said that, and it's always true for me anyway.
Okay. Lindsay says, what do you think about the 10-hour line for the new Harry Potter coaster at Universal?
I think it was to be expected.
Yeah.
It's a huge new coaster, a huge theme park in Florida.
And it looks amazing.
I've heard people have said it's very good. So, yeah.
Surprised it's not longer.
Well, 10 hours is pretty hefty, isn't it? And also, it's running at reduced capacity. So,
yeah.
At full capacity, it wouldn't be 10 hours. It would be quite a bit shorter, a significant chunk shorter. So, so yeah, that it's been hit by a few issues, the Potter coaster. So I imagine once they've got everything up and running, that it will be
the throughput will be better.
Yeah, and they need to learn how to operate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you see theme parks at the start of a new season with new operators being a bit slow. New roller coaster.
Yeah. Maintenance
don't really know what they're doing too well. The operators don't know what they're doing too well. Give them time, they'll get better, and the queues get shorter. So,
gotta wait it out.
You do have to wait it out.
Tom says, if you could plan a short trip to any European park, considering cost and location, brackets, other things to do, nearby, difficulty to get to, etc., where would you pick? So, which European park are you gonna plan your trip to?
What? Just like a general...
Yeah, like which one would you pick? Which is the best for like an overall trip? Do you know what I mean? In terms of like other stuff things to do around the area, how easy it is to get to.
What comes to mind is Portaventura being next to Barcelona.
Yeah.
You could
and flights are really good to Barcelona.
You could easily go to Barcelona for 2 days, get the train down to Portaventura, it's like an hour, and go to Portaventura.
That is a good one.
But then you're at Portaventura. And some people, and that park has been known to have a few issues, not recently, but over the past few years, about terrible operations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a hit or miss park at the moment. So
you could also do Phantasialand because that's in Cologne.
Yeah, Phantasialand is a good one to get to. There's not too much to do in Cologne, but
it's a nice area,
a solid choice.
Especially if you go at Christmas because they have the market.
Yes. On there. Liseberg. I'd say there's more to do in Gothenburg than there is Cologne.
Yeah, Gothenburg's cool.
So Liseberg is a good place to go to.
Flights are difficult there, though.
They are, they're a bit more expensive to Gothenburg and a lot less regular.
Yeah.
You can get to Europa Park by public transport. You can do that. Not much to see around the place.
Yeah.
But Europa Park is getting much bigger in terms of... They've got a water park opening this year, I think.
Okay.
Or next year. It's already a massive park. It's potentially a 3-day park.
Okay.
There's a hell of a lot to do.
Yeah.
So if you want kind of a roller coaster or theme park entire trip, Europa Park is a good place to spend.
Yeah, just
3
to
or 4
go
days.
To the park itself, and that's
the
it.
Park and even the water park and just kind of other theme parky-esque stuff.
Yeah.
So
more of a resort type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Amusement Park News says, if you could change one UK park with one from Germany, which ones would it be? That's quite hard for you, isn't it?
No, but this is this is an easy question to kind of get around, because you just say crap theme park for a good theme park,
Yeah, but which good theme park from Germany are you going to pick?
Europa Park.
Not Hansa Park?
No. No, because we butcher it in the UK, kind of. We butcher Europe Park in the UK, but... No, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah.
It's Europa Park. It's like one of the best theme parks, period. Hansa
Okay.
Park is really going up, but...
Not yet.
Yeah. The thing is, like, this is what I mean. You could easily just say, oh, yeah, get rid of... what's a crap theme park?
Flamingo Land.
No, it's all right. Get rid of Southport Pleasureland.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and whack Europa Park up north, next to Blackpool, sure, yeah. But it's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
If we're talking big parks, I would get rid of Thorpe Park instantly and swap it out for even Hansa Park or Europa Park or Phantasialand.
Anything.
So there you go.
Okay. Jamie says pet peeves. So that's what are your like pet peeves at theme parks?
Go on, I'll let you start with this one. So I do have some in mind.
Queue cutters.
Yeah. It's not too bad in the UK.
And queue lines, we've said this before, queue lines where they're not wide enough.
No, they're too wide.
They're too wide.
Yeah.
To have, so you can have two groups of people next to each other, because then people they don't understand how the queue works for some reason, even though a queue is always like one behind the other.
Yeah, if it's too wide, people try and push past, don't they?
Yeah.
Without you noticing, and you're like, what? Especially in like foreign countries, like when we went to Gardaland.
Oh my god, Gardaland was the worst for queue jumpers.
It was a bit. It's just the culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the UK, we just get stoned.
Too polite.
We're too polite to even mention it, but most people won't do it.
Yeah.
Just because.
Embarrassment. Also, a pet peeve is like overpriced food.
Yes. Well, it's just
and everything.
That's just theme
But
parks
it's so
in a nutshell.
annoying. It's just bad. Like, why? They just think that because you're in their park and you can't buy it anywhere else. Actually,
yeah, that is
my
how it works.
My worst one is obviously Blackpool, where you're not allowed to even take your own food in, and then they charge you for this food. That annoys me.
Some of mine is, this works outside of theme parks as well, but people stopping just randomly in the path.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that. If you want to stop, move to the side of the path.
Yeah.
And then stop. Don't just stop, because it's really annoying. That goes outside of theme parks. Said like anyway, you see too many people do it in cities. Because going back to the previous question about going to loads of theme parks, a pet peeve of mine is starting to become theme parks that don't have many food options that aren't crap fast food.
Yeah. You just want a sandwich.
Yeah, I don't want a burger. I don't want a hot dog. Because it's all crap. I just want something nice.
Yeah.
Which is something, especially Alton Towers, is, unless you go to the pricier places, it's hard to come by.
So you need some jambalaya.
I just want some jambalaya, It's literally it. Just something different.
Jambalaya.
Like, yeah, seriously though. I like curry or something. Can you imagine going to Alton Towers having curry? How good would that be? That'd be sick.
The food at Phantasialand needs to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Their food is the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Just variety. Yeah. Not having variety at theme parks is a bit annoying. So it's quite annoying. So.
Very annoying.
So there you go. There's some.
JWW says merchandise plans for the future.
Have been thinking about merch. The problem with merch is you have to, unless you have someone else deal with it, you have to buy it all in bulk.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. But I'd really like to get some Coaster Bot pins. I think that'd be very cool.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't be too cheap because of the reason, like, when you see theme park pins, the companies buy like thousands upon thousands of pins, whereas we'd have to buy, even just 200 pins would cost like a few £100.
Yeah.
So
it's a big investment.
It's a big investment. Probably wouldn't make your money back or just cut even. But it'd be cool to have pins. So pins is something I think is next on the agenda. I might look into that very soon. So I will keep people posted on social media about pins.
The keyboard person says, do you have any big coaster trips planned for the rest of this season?
So we do have some. We spoke about Liseberg.
Yeah.
How we're going to there. So we're going 2 days at Liseberg at the end of August. Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be really good because the Friday will be great because it won't be too busy. So we'll be able to kind of like just ride all the stuff again, get back into the swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Saturday it will be a bit busier, so we can ride less things, get some footage and just kind of have a nice look around.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really look around
No.
too much, did we?
We only had one day, so it was like, get on Helix as many times as you can.
And I realised the other day that we didn't even go on the rapids.
What? Oh, yeah.
We didn't, did we?
There's probably a few things we missed.
Yeah, exactly. So the second day, or even the first, depends how busy it is, we'll be about riding all the smaller stuff and just having a look through the kids' areas, having a look at whatever, just getting some footage and stuff like that. Maybe shoot some other random videos along the way.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. We're also in talks with Lisa Berg about doing it. You may have heard before that some people who go to Lisa Berg have a behind-the-scenes tour where they see some of the operators' cabins on the rides and the maintenance sheds, and a guy called Pontus takes you on a tour and talks to you about the stuff. So we're in talks of that, so that should be happening for us as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Video will probably be coming from that. So we're really looking forward to the whole trip. It's going to be a very good one.
It's my favourite park.
Um,
We got Sweden as well.
Yes, it's gone.
Oh, I've got to say the names. We're going to Grondelund.
Gronelund. I don't know how you say it properly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And what's the other one called? Kolmarden.
Mm-hmm.
Doing both of those in July. Sometime soon.
Probably be August.
August. End of July, start of August.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing those two, just like one day each park.
Go on, give us a quick rendition, a quick overview of the parks.
Good one.
In case people don't know what they are. You know what they are.
So
you know what one of them
is. Kolmarden is like a wildlife reserve type zoo thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got basically one good ride, which is Wildfire. So we're basically only going there to do Wildfire.
Allegedly Europe's best roller coaster.
Yeah. And Grondelund is more like a Blackpool vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more like a what's the word?
Fun fair.
No, it's like seaside amusement park.
Yeah.
There's a word for it, like a pier amusement park kind of thing. So it's a bit more kind of
crowded.
Yeah, there's rides on top of rides on top of rides. But that'll be interesting, It's nice to go to different theme parks.
Yeah.
And as I said, there's loads of different coasters all on top of each other. Lots of coaster types that we haven't done before as well, which is going to be very exciting.
It's going to be
stuff
huge.
Like Gravity Group wooden coasters and Gerstlau bobsleds. For you, Zach Spin. Those are something else. So that's really exciting as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, we have our bike tour.
We do, which we just announced. We're doing 3 parks in one day on bikes. So it's Thorpe Park, Chesington and Legoland, and we're cycling to each one in one day.
In one day.
One day.
Spending a little bit of time in each park, hopefully riding 1 or 2 things.
Yeah. And we'll see how much we get done.
Yeah, so we're doing that to try and raise some money for charity, raise some money for Merlin's Magic Wand. So if you're listening to this and relatively soon you'd like to check that out, if you go to cycle.coasterbot.com, you can have a look at the page and potentially, donate to our cause and donate to their cause and read
raise
what it's
some
all
money.
about. Yeah.
Even a £1 will help, because if everyone did £1, then think how many pounds we'd have.
Exactly. But that'll be happening on the 6th of July, 2019.
Yeah.
Right? It's the 6th of July.
6th of July.
And if you want to meet us at one of the parks, we'd love for you to meet us and hang out with us for the hour or so that we have at each park. So come on down to one of those 3, Thorpe, Chessington, Legoland. Check cycle.coasterbot.com for the schedule of where we'll be and when we'll be. It'd be cool to meet as many people as possible,
Yeah.
And just hang out with you guys. So
it's going to be a good day.
It should be a busy day, but a fun one nonetheless.
Hopefully we make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though,
just towers, really, innit?
Yeah, there's no other plans that are solid right now.
Yeah.
We've got some things, thinking about some things.
Nothing booked.
Nothing booked. I'd like to go back to Oakwood at some point.
Yep.
Flamingo Land next year for their new
thing, yeah.
their new Intamin 10 looper. But yeah, nothing solid.
Oh, we got Creedy on Friday.
Oh, we do. Well, by the time when it comes,
the day that this podcast comes out, we'll be at Creedy.
Which is a
how exciting!
Tiny theme park in Devon. It will be exciting. It'll be funny. So
yeah,
got a vlog coming out from that.
Think of us.
Yep.
And now we have some questions about the podcast.
Yep.
Texas Coaster said, "What is the podcast about?" Which is a very good question. The podcast is about everything. Every week is a different thing. So just anything to do with theme parks.
Theme parks, yeah.
Yeah. Or coasters or anything like that. But yeah, it just changes every week, I guess.
If you're listening to this point, I think you probably realise that.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to it, you might find out.
Yes.
But anyway. Lonely Coaster says, "What's the best thing you've learnt from doing the podcast?"
Go on then.
That it's really hard to think of things to say sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
But then other times it's not.
It
so
be
it's
like
weird,
that.
yeah. And also, it's more effort than you'd imagine. I think I've learned.
Yeah, all of the things in the background.
Yeah, even stuff that I don't really realise. It all adds up, like little things to do with it.
Yep.
But it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Rockin' Rollercoaster says best and worst aspects of podcasting. I think the worst thing is that you don't see anyone that's listening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, in a way, there's no kind of with videos you have like comments that people often leave comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really get that.
And also with videos, you get specific views, like you get the number of people that have actually seen it. Whereas the stats for podcasting are so weird.
Yeah.
Like we don't really know how many people listen to this at all. And you can't really get an accurate number from anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the worst thing. Because you just don't really know who's even listening. Is that yours as well? Your worst thing?
I don't know.
You're just here, chilling.
I don't really have any major issues with it, you know?
It's alright.
It's fine.
What's your best thing then?
I'd like to think I've gotten better at thinking on my head sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, trying to think of things to say.
I think we definitely have.
In the moment. Which is good. It's a good thing to have, especially if, you know, talking to random people.
Yeah.
It's always good to be able to think on your feet and ask questions on your feet. So I'd say that's a good thing to have learned as well.
Yeah.
From doing the podcast.
I think the fact that you can go so detailed.
Yeah, this is true. You can just ramble a bit more.
Yeah. Coaster Bot rambles.
This is it. It's quite fun to ramble sometimes and just be like have a little rant. I don't get the chance to rant in my videos.
Because you don't like to.
No, because they're not for that. They're not for me voicing my own opinion.
Yeah. Whereas this is more
this is,
just whatever you want.
So I get to annoy people, which is fun. Annoying people who have bad opinions is fun.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, listening right now. No, maybe not.
Oh,
who knows?
God.
Depends.
Okay.
Depends if you've got rubbish opinions.
Coastertopia says, "What was your favourite podcast so far?" Which is something we also asked you guys on Twitter, but I haven't even thought about my answer, which was a mistake.
Go on, let's run through theirs.
Okay, theirs are. Let me just refresh to see if this has changed. Oh, it has. Okay. Muster Max says, "My favourite were the episodes with Taylor and Logan. Love to hear the conversations with different people."
Yeah, the ones with other people are quite fun.
I like doing those because it's more just like having a chat with them and it's quite chill.
No, I agree. Yeah, most of the people we've had on have been good.
Yeah.
Silver's really good. Robert was really good.
And they're all really different as well.
Yeah.
Even though they're all enthusiasts, they're all doing different stuff that we can talk about.
It's cool. Those are probably my favourite, actually.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any, to be honest. I can't remember what we spoke about.
Andrew says the quiz you did leading up to Christmas was really fun.
Oh, yeah, your quiz.
That was good. We should do another one.
We should do another one. I remember that you thought I wouldn't get the questions, and then I got like most of them.
Yeah, yeah. I need to do better questions next time.
We'll do another quiz at some point. Give it a bit more time. I think another one would be fun.
Yeah. I'll up my game.
Yes.
Eddie says podcast 17, where do they put all the sweets, was a great one. That's the Blackpool one, where I got really upset about my sweets.
Yeah. Still don't know where they put all the sweets.
No, we don't know. The joy sequence says, I really enjoy them all, to be honest, but I particularly like the one where you're both arguing about whether Grand National is 1 credit or 2.
Yeah, and then, funny enough, in the thread of that tweet, an argument is broken out.
Yes, of course. I mean, I can't even remember what my argument was anymore. What was yours? Because
mine was always for 2. I've always been a firm believer.
Okay, so I would have been 1.
Yeah, the Mobius loop coasters, including the Grand National, are 2 credits because you can't. If you rode one side of it, right, and it's if all of it's 1 credit, if you rode
really
half
doing
of
this
it,
again?
Yeah, if you rode one side, you'd ride half of it technically, so you'd get half a credit. Half a credit doesn't exist.
But you got off.
Because you got off. So no.
But you got off, so it's 1 credit.
No, but then, so you've got 1 credit, and then you ride the other side, and you've still got 1 credit. That doesn't work.
You can get a credit from either side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I was trying to explain how it being 1 credit is wrong.
No, 1 credit is right. Wait.
1 credit for both, not 1 credit each.
I think I'm on your side then.
You are now, probably.
Oh, guys, I don't even know.
It's 1 credit for each side, 2 in total. Because if it was both 1 credit, you'd have to ride both sides to get a credit, no? And some people ride half, and you can't have half a credit. So you either have zero credits for riding 1, or 1 credit for riding 2, and that doesn't make sense.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Anyways, 2 credits, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That always leads to a nice little
argument. We also argue about Crush's Coaster a lot.
Yeah, it's because it's trash.
It's not trash.
No,
it's not trash.
It's not trash.
I don't understand your issue with it.
It's just stupid. Disney is stupid. Like, honestly, who thought of it? The thing is, what kind of insane theme park, right, on the scale and size of the Disney parks, would put in investments like a marathon spinning coaster, like a crap wild mouse? There's 2 crap wild mice in Disney World in Florida at a Disney park.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know,
It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. That's what it is. It's called lazy. It's really lazy. And then you have some crap laser light show inside of it, like Rock and Rollercoaster at Disneyland Paris, being lazy as hell. And it's, no. I don't want to go to Disneyland for a crap light show and some flipping turtle projections. That's not what That's not what I'm there for.
Don't.
No, that's true. That's
Crush's Coaster
actually
is good.
true.
Crush's Coaster is good.
This is true. Anyway, that's the whole argument. You go to Disney for the other stuff, for the interesting stuff.
My gosh.
Not for cheap rides.
So what was your favourite episode then?
Can
you even remember any other than the ones we mentioned?
No.
You're just going to say the first one, aren't you? Because that's
No,
the
I
only
don't
one
like
you
the first
listen
one.
to.
I'm trying to think. The one where we created our own theme park was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I did
that
like
was
that
cool.
one.
I like that one. I don't know. There's been a few standouts. I do think the guest ones are the most fun.
Yeah,
though.
no, I agree.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the guest ones have been really good.
Yeah.
So I think it does have to be that one.
Mm.
Those ones.
Those ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all the questions we've got. No poll this episode.
Well, I don't know what.
Don't know what we would have done a poll on,
Poll
but
we could have done.
yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken about the past podcast.
Oh no.
What do we think's going to happen in the future?
Oh,
Where are we heading?
I don't know.
Who are we heading to?
I don't know.
What direction are we going?
We know one thing, but that's
What
not
do we know?
confirmed. That's not confirmed.
Oh, right, I see what you mean.
So we can't do anything
Yeah,
that's
so
not confirmed.
We want to get more guests on, obviously. Obviously, every 4th episode is a guest one.
Yeah.
We want to continue to get not more interesting, but everyone's interesting. Like other.
We want to continue
to
have interesting guests.
So we're looking at different possibilities for who we can bring on. from different kind of regions. Most of the people we've had so far have been enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can try and get some people from the industry or, you know, something similar to that. So that's something we want to do in the future. You've always had the idea of, we joked earlier about, you know, it's like we were, you know, on TV or on stage.
Yeah.
You've always had the idea of wanting to
do a live one.
A live
A
podcast.
live pod.
Where people, you know, buy tickets to come to an event. We're on stage making a podcast there and then, you know, and people get to ask questions live.
Yeah.
And we obviously don't have enough people for that at all.
Yeah. But that's future plans if it continues.
It's a cool thing to think about and to work towards potentially. So let us know.
The main reason for that is because we want to actually see you, if that makes sense. Like, we're just sitting in a room and we don't get to like interact with anyone properly. So if we did a live episode, it would be very cool.
That goes with everything though. Even in terms of the videos, just
even just to meet people like who've been watching you for ages.
That's what I mean. Like any part of CoasterBot, like I want to do meetups, but we've planned meetups for ages, but every time there's just like it hasn't been a good time to do it.
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
This year hasn't. I would have thought like a few months ago this year would have been the time to do it, but it's really not.
It's crazy.
So
I don't want to say it again, but I think next year is going to be the year.
I think next year the thing is, next year we should be in a much better place for being able to decide well in advance.
Exactly.
Right now, we don't have the opportunity to do that. Mm-hmm. Whereas next year we can try and, from the very start, stagger things like, you know, Alt Towers in April, Thorpe Park June, Blackpool August or whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously there is an opportunity to meet us on July 6th. So please, if you're thinking about it, you know, if you're on the edge, even though you'll only see us for an hour and 40, the more people there, it'll really make my day. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. Even if one person turns up, because I wholly don't expect many people to turn up, if anyone. Even if one person each part turns up, I think that'd be pretty goddamn cool. So, if you want to meet us, and you live in that area, I'm sorry to everyone who lives, you know, up north and in the Midlands, but we will do. We
couldn't really cycle Towers to Thorpe.
No, you can't.
Would have been a bit far, but
you
know. But yeah, come out, I guess.
Yeah. But next year, or maybe even at the end of the year, or maybe even in August, if there will be meetups this year, they'll be very kind of quick, as in there won't be much notice.
Quick turnaround, yeah.
Whereas hopefully next year, as I said, we can start to plan a few more things.
But yeah.
Want to go to Blackpool opening weekend next year. Mm-hmm. That'll be something I want to go to, because that sounds like a hoot, even though nothing opened last year and everything died.
Yeah.
It still sounds great. So.
Cool. Well, I guess that's the end of this whole 20th episode and our year. Mm-hmm. Year of podcasting.
There you go. Crazy.
We did it.
We did it. One whole year. Who knows where we'll be next year? Maybe it won't even
we'll have
exist.
Finished. No.
Maybe CoasterBot will be cancelled.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what we're in for? But, stay tuned.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yep.
If you're out there. No, I know there's people listening. It's just like hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on all the usual bits. Leave us an iTunes review. Yeah.
And just, if you like the podcast, you know, try and be active on Twitter for when we give the questions.
Yeah. Or even on our YouTube comments, because we read them all.
Yeah, we really do appreciate hearing from you and hearing your thoughts.
Yeah.
And we want to put more of your thoughts into the podcast. So, yeah, follow us at CBR Podcast. On Twitter. And there you'll be able to, you know, post your questions or post your thoughts of whatever topics you're on about, and you will make it into the podcast. So, yeah, no, definitely stay up to date with all that kind of stuff.
And yeah, thanks for listening.